What's up, NXL faithful? Once again, it's your boy K1, bringing you back some more Crash 2. So, of course, we're going to go ahead to the fourth floor and continue our talk about what happened at Comic Con. So, let's get into it. Okay, so today's topic is going to be a small bit of a mix because it not only has to deal with Comic-Con, it's also going to be some recent news that just happened, but it's all including about the new Spider-Man game coming out for PS4. So at Comic-Con, main thing was Spider-Man released the story trailer, which showed that, on top of Peter Parker's normal everyday routine of working and trying to pay rent on time and being, the normal Peter Parker life, he jumps into a whole new adventure as Spider-Man. And it seems now that we now hereby know that Silver Sable will be an antagonist, as technically hired by Norman Osborn, who has hired his own personal security to not only take down crime in New York City, but technically make Spider-Man into public enemy number one. So she's playing like Tiger was in Batman Arkham City, being the private. So she's technically the Doctor Strange of this, only she's just more straightforward bounty hunter. She doesn't have any hidden agenda. It's just mainly doing her job. So she's going to be the. Ooh, that was close. Oh, go. Okay. So mainly she's going to become like the noble antagonist, meaning that she will probably play up as a good character until, not a good character in the sense of she will be thinking she's doing the right thing by hunting Spider-Man and think she's doing the right thing, only to find out it's like against her code, for whatever Norman Osborn has planned. So I see her as, yes, you will have to fight her, but only because, she's only like tricked in the sense of the word. Ooh, secret. But over that, the whole premise Okay, got it. So the whole premise mainly is not only trying to clear that Spider-Man is the good guy. Ooh, that was like close. But now also the premise of putting all these bad guys in jail, which i.e. leads to the Sinister Six. Okay. So anyway, that's what the whole premise. Whoa, okay, I see you plants. Ah! Okay, so the whole premise of this story is Spider-Man trying to save the day while literally being hunted down as the supposed real cause, mainly because Norman Osborn wants to use him as the platform to get reelected. Okay, I see you. Oh, okay. So he's going to have to deal with not only Silver Sable hunting him down, but he's also going to have to deal with the Sinister Six. Also, other bad guys that are still yet to be revealed, because at Comic-Con they literally stated that there's still a plethora of villains to be revealed. Some that are really from his past. Oh, dang. Oh, that was close. Okay. Okay. But, so the main thing of this was just mainly telling the story And then also that Mary Jane / Miles Morales will be his technical sidekicks. You know, you get to play as Mary Jane, and then of course Miles Morales is like learning from Peter. So Miles Morales is more like the student in training, meaning that he is learning from Peter and maybe might be a mentor. And one of the things everybody's been asking is Miles Morales playable? Is Miles Morales playable? But of course, to leave us still salivating, they said you'll have to wait till September 7th. So if he's not playable, he's definitely a costume. So before I continue with this new news, it is recent news, meaning that it just mainly happened, I think, at the China press conference for Sony. So main thing is this does contain spoilers for the game. So before anybody gets ticked at me, I'm already going to say this. Spoiler alert. If you don't want to hear what happens, please, pause the video, watch it at a later date if you don't want spoilers. Okay, so first off, we gotta give a congratulations to Insomniac Games because recently Spider-Man has finally gone gold, which really no one is surprised about because, oh yeah, the digging level. I forgot about this. But yeah, so in honor of that, we here at NeedExtraLife would definitely like to wish them big congratulations, and now we are more than hyped for their game coming out. So, congrats to you guys and shout outs to you. So, to continue on, so at another event before the China event, there was one where the gameplay was in Russia, and they went ahead and showed the major first boss fight of the game, and that turned out to be none other than Kingpin. Now, if you all remember from what we've seen in the trailers, Kingpin is taken out early. As you can see in the trailers, he literally is being carted off into a police car, and his whole thing is that and so his whole thing about him getting taken down is supposed to be like the starting point of what causes the events, because this happens in the past, I think 5 years before the events of the recent game. So main thing from the playthrough of Kingpin is that it starts way before the events of the game, and you are rocking the literal classic 90s suit, from the think of the animated series. And the whole thing is you're literally getting into Kingpin's base and taking down his henchmen. And then, of course, you come face to face with Wilson Fisk himself. Of course, I won't give all the things away, but of course, general gaming knowledge. Boss fight ensues, Kingpin's taken down, Peter Parker stays, as the hero, and we continue. So technically, Kingpin considers himself the balance, saying, I had crime. If it wasn't for me, this place will be like a Wild Wild West. Ooh, that was close. Alright, so the main thing is that according to Kingpin, he kept crime at bay because he was the ultimate evil, thus meaning nobody else could stand to him, touch him, and he kept the balance in between all the gangs in New York. Ooh, okay. So by him, technically being arrested, he considers, oh well, now everybody's going to come for my throne, in which they all do, because technically in the beginning of the game you get a look at Mr. Negative and the inner demons coming to take control. Okay. Sacrifice. But still, so that begins the main struggle in the story for power, and it's starting off with none other than Mr. Negative and the inner demons trying to take over. But that's probably like, that was seen. It was going to be one of them. But there's also been rumored to be more families, and that come in and try to take territory, and that they will try to actually take from the Kingpin's own building. So you're going to have to, like, in a weird way, help Wilson Fisk keep his own things while, it's bittersweet, but you have to help the villain you just put away. But moving on. So next thing that was exposed is that okay, so back to Peter Parker. He is definitely more of a main character, because right now they will actually start pushing into Peter more than Spider-Man in certain areas. So main thing is he is, about to graduate college. He's working for a very famous scientist. We won't say who, but it's just somebody you should know from the comics. Just wink wink. Oh. And, he's very concerned with Mary Jane, which technically, they are exes, but you still get to see the point that they still have feelings for each other, which will be played upon in the game through later dates. Oh, not worth it. But main thing is that they will also be taking care that you will be doing more work with Peter, because he actually, as another thing, he's not even working for the Daily Bugle in this one. He's just mainly a scientist. So there will be missions to take pictures, but it won't be for Jameson. Get me pictures of Spider-Man, Parker, or you're fired. Don't have to worry about that in this game. Ooh, okay. Oh. Oh. Okay, but main thing is, speaking of missions, there is going to be a load of missions to work with in this. And it's not just having to deal with, mainly, fight, beat 'em up, and crime. There will be challenge missions, but there'll also be... Ooh, that was close. There'll also be landmark missions, finding all of these special landmarks in New York City. So we already know that one of those will be the Wakanda building. We'll have Avengers Tower. We'll have the Sanctum Sanctorum. And, what else to come? Probably the Empire State Building. And just more to hit with that.